Hi, I'm Zed Harbor, and I'm here to talk to you today about human design. Human design blends ancient wisdom traditions with modern science. One of my favorite things about human design is that you do not have to believe anything you hear. And in fact, you are told from the beginning, don't believe anything that anyone tells you. What that means is you're going to take in what you hear, what you see, you're going to measure it against your own experience, and you get to determine for yourself what feels true and what doesn't. What evidence do you see on your own, and what do you want to do with that? Human design isn't here to tell you who you are or who you should be. What it can do is reveal the secrets of who you are. And much of it you'll recognize, and it will feel very familiar. The difference is that when you hear it in human design, what you come to understand is that it is how you are meant to be. There are 4 types in human design. Generators make up the majority of the population, somewhere around 67%. Projectors make up about 22%. Manifestors are somewhere around 9-ish%, and reflectors are 1.25%. So they are the most rare type. The purpose for knowing your human design type is to understand how your energy field engages with and is perceived by the world. So, for example, if you are a reflector, one of those rare people, your energy field, which you can also use the word aura, is going to be reflective and sampling. So it's going to reflect a lot of the environment and the people around you. And it's also going to sample the bits of energy from the environment and those people. Now, if you're a manifestor, the phrase that's used in human design is that your energy field or aura is closed and repelling. And initially, many of us may feel that there's like the negative connotations to those words, when in fact, if you imagine like a protective shell, a very beautiful creature lives within those shells. And the shell is what allows it to maintain its life and its integrity, its identity, and its life force. And so a manifestor's aura is designed to maintain the integrity of their uniqueness so they can do what manifestors do best. Now, a projector's aura is described as being focused and absorbing. If you just imagine this sort of almost laser coming out as an energy field, and it gets more and more directed and focused, and it can really penetrate into the energy field of particularly the generator. And as it does, it absorbs the energies that it finds there. And generators have what's called an open enveloping aura. You just imagine 360 degrees going out in all directions, this sort of warm, enveloping bioelectric field. And then it's also enveloping everyone within its reach and taking all that into itself. And so these energy fields, these ways of meeting the world and experiencing and receiving the world, are keys to how it will be correct to live as your type. Every type has what we call a strategy, and it's based on this energy field. So as a generator, your strategy is wait to respond. You are here to respond to life. So as you are open to it, as you envelop it, it comes into you and you respond to it. And that is a correct way for you to allow your energy to engage with the world and to receive the world. If you're a projector with that focused, absorbing aura, your strategy is to wait for recognition and invitation. If you imagine someone with that sort of focused and absorbing aura, probing, it can be described as, if you're not recognized and if you're not welcomed, then that kind of interaction could be very unpleasant for both parties. Now, a manifestor with that closed, repelling aura, your strategy is to inform. And this is so that you can do what manifestors do best, which is to initiate. Now, as a manifestor, as long as you follow this strategy of informing before you initiate, what you'll be able to accomplish is to get the buy-in from all of those that are going to be affected by what it is you're about to do or create. And therefore, you can see what you do, what you manifest come to fruition with much less resistance and friction. And as a reflector, your strategy is to wait for the lunar cycle. And when you're a reflector and you hear that for the first time, that may not feel great, because The lunar cycle is about 28 and a half days. And it doesn't mean you have to wait 28 and a half days to decide what to have for breakfast. It's not that. It's the major life decisions that you want to give yourself that at least one full cycle of the moon, if not more. And when you look at the body graph of a reflector, it becomes more clear why that's true. Now, each type also has what's called a not self theme. And this is something that when you notice it, it's going to indicate to you that you're not following your strategy and you're not following your authority. So if you're a generator, your not self theme is frustration. And so the moment you feel frustration, people aren't responding to you the way you want. Your response isn't being received the way you want. It's frustrating. That's your key to check in with your strategy. Are you, in fact, waiting to respond? Manifestors will feel anger. And it might be anger that's pointed outward, but it also might be anger that's directed inward, which can end up creating kind of apathy or sadness. And when you're experiencing either of those qualities of anger, that's when you know you are not following your strategy to inform before you initiate. And for reflectors, if you're not following your strategy of waiting for the lunar cycle, you'll experience disappointment. And with a projector, the not self theme is bitterness. And often you can even taste something when it's very bitter, a relationship or a situation. And so as a projector, the moment you feel bitterness, you know you are not following your strategy of waiting to be recognized and invited correctly. Now, projectors, with your strategy of waiting to be correctly recognized and invited, it really applies to 4 main areas of life: where to live, who to love, what career to have, and who to bond with. And so, like the reflector, you're not here to wait to be recognized and invited to decide what you're going to have for breakfast. So it's important to remember that for the reflector and the projector, your strategy is really for the big things. Whereas a generator, you're going to respond to life moment by moment, from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you go to sleep at night. So what does it feel like when you're following your strategy and authority? As a generator, you're going to feel satisfaction. And you yourself have your own personal experience of what satisfaction feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like. And when you're a projector, when you're following your strategy and authority, what you're going to feel is success. And manifestors, what you're going to feel is peace. And reflectors, what you'll feel is a quality of delighted surprise. So again, one of my favorite things about human design, don't believe anything you hear. Instead, observe for yourself. Learn your design, learn what type you are, learn what your authority is, learn what your strategy is, learn what your not self-theme and your signature is. And then start to observe how you experience that in your life, or if you do. And that way, ultimately, you are responsible and accountable for the quality of your life and experience. And you don't have to give your authority or any kind of power to someone else, not even to a system like human design.